The second, apparently insulting Hillary Clinton is very bad. Presidential candidate at the SALT conference in Sid City last month wasn't enough for Joe Biden. It now seems the former VP had some choice words for a name many on Wall Street: love or love to hate, hate to love, whatever it is. Charlie Gasparino, exclusive details on Joe Biden.
You know, you got to ask why it took this long, because the SALT conference was in May. We're about a month later. It's, you know, this was a private event after the conference, a VIP dinner. Now we know why Scaramucci doesn't invite you and I to these private, unless you were there.
I was.
So you saw this?
You're on the outs.
You saw this thing?
No, that was the second night. I was invited to the first night.
Well, on Thursday night, after Joe Biden spoke, remember, he basically said, I would have been a better candidate. Caused some news. They had a private dinner where the potential candidacy of Joe Biden, as opposed to Hillary Clinton, came up during this private dinner. Like, why didn't he run for president in 2016 if he believes, as he said during the conference, that he's a better candidate than Hillary Clinton, who, as you know, lost to President Trump? It came up when Jeb Bush, this was a VIP roundtable with Jeb Bush, Steve Harvey was there, Lara Logan, no, I wasn't there, George Pompanopoulos, whatever his name is, the former Greek Prime Minister was there, Anthony Scaramucci was there.
At ours, we had David Cameron.
Oh, well, thank you. But who else was there? Dan Loeb was there. It was a big crowd. They were all sitting around the table. Jeb Bush asked Biden, who's sitting there, why didn't you run? Biden became pretty emotional. He talked about how, you know, part of the reason why was that his son, Beau, had died of brain cancer in 2015. It was a tragedy, and it hurt him. And as he was explaining this, he got a little choked up, and he says, listen, I don't want to talk anymore about this. Room went silent, and then Bill Ackman, the head of Pershing Square, chimed in and said something that some people there thought was inappropriate, and clearly Joe Biden thought was inappropriate. He says, why? I mean, why don't you want to talk about it? That has never stopped you before.
Oof.
As you know, Joe Biden
it stopped him from running. Yeah. He took himself out of the running.
So he says, why? That has never stopped you before. That's when Joe Biden turns around to someone seated near him and said, who is this a-hole? And then turned to Ackman directly and stated this: look, I don't know who you are, wise ass, but never disrespect the memory of my dead son again. Ackman, from what we understand, then went on to attempt what was described as an apology, to which Biden said, just shut the hell up.
This is in front of, because the way that works, yes. By the way, it's Chatham House rules, well, which means off the record. So,
okay, well, we got
your
this,
sources.
We got this confirmed by 3 people who were at the meeting. Okay, so
dinner.
At the dinner, it's a dinner conversation that occurs after, and I've been at some of these things.
It's not everybody's chattering to their dinner partner.
No, you're going around.
One conversation.
Yeah, and Scaramucci kind of directs the conversation.
Correct. Yeah.
And we should point out that 3 people have described this, the words and the substance. They have confirmed it. Joe Biden's office does not deny this. We told them what we were going to say that he said, and they basically said, we're not denying it. Ackman has an interesting sort of non-denial denial that's in the story on foxbusiness.com. A couple of key points why we're writing about this. This was brought to my attention by people who think that Joe Biden is going to run. They say, listen, he's 75. If you think he's going to be too slow in 2020 at 77, maybe I think the oldest president candidate ever to run, this conversation shows this guy will take anybody's heads. He's tough enough to take anybody's head off that's willing to go toe-to-toe with him and piss him off, which Bill Ackman did. That's number one. And number two, it's, you know, listen, Bill Ackman doesn't have a lot of friends on Wall Street. And, you know...
Could you argue he doesn't need a lot of friends on Wall Street?
Yeah.
He's always marched to the beat of a different drum.
Marched to the beat, as you know, he was the guy that tried to take out Herbalife, the nutritional multi-level marketing company. Herbalife is still around. He's very controversial on that. So when you're controversial, people say stuff about you, and that's how we found this out. But it's indicative, I think, of the fact that if you want to say anything about this story, Joe Biden took him on like there's no tomorrow, according to the people who are there. We have the whole write-up on foxbusiness.com. We have Ackman's non-denial denial. We have other people quoted what this means. Interesting story. It's all over the web right now, and it's now picking up steam on the web.
All right.
I wouldn't be surprised if it treads today.
Thank you very much.